Hi there. Welcome back, or if you are new here, won't you take a second to subscribe? It doesn't cost you anything, but it sure helps me a whole lot. Today, I want to share something from my past. I attended college at UAM in Monticello, Arkansas. As I shared in the past, I wrote an article for one of my English classes, and the professor thought it was so good that he encouraged me to submit it to the local newspaper to have it published. That really boosted my confidence in my writing skills. So now, I want to shift gears and share something from my American literature class. This is an essay I wrote on a poem written by Emily Dickinson. The title is Interpretation of a Dickinson Poem. My poem does not have a title but a number of one. I have rewritten the poem below, and I will discuss this poem referring to its prosody and my interpretation of its meaning. Emily Dickinson has a prosody all her own. Her use of capital letters and dashes are evidence that this poem belongs to her and her alone. She capitalizes Jesus, which is normal, but she also capitalizes air. She is most likely trying to make the point that Jesus is in the air and is equal to it because, like air, Jesus is everywhere. In the second stanza, earthquake and maelstrom are capitalized to symbolize their equivalence of being supernatural, that they kill people both in the south and the sea. Also, in the last line, she capitalized arm and me to make the connection between Jesus and herself. When it comes to her verbal ambiguity, I don't believe she could make her point any clearer for the reader. There are not any double meanings to her words. Also, the I rhythm of every other line does not have rhythm. The last point I would like to make about Dickinson's prosody is the stanza form. She used the iambic tetrameter for the first line and the second line iambic trimeter. The remainder of the poem follows this pattern. The meaning of these stanzas are easily interpreted. She is looking for Jesus, praying to Jesus, but because he doesn't answer her prayers, she thinks that he has no time for her. In the first stanza, she is looking for him everywhere in her spiritual body, but she cannot find the right path. In the second stanza, she says that if a man can cause earthquakes and maelstrom, why can't he find time for her? Whoa. Let me stop the essay here to say something about this. Sure, Jesus was a man, but Jesus was God in the flesh. I wrote that she says that if a man can cause earthquakes, but I should have said God because no man can cause earthquakes. Earthquakes and maelstrom hurt and kill thousands of lives a year, so why can't Jesus find time to answer her one little prayer? Finally, I would like to say this poem gives me a feeling of hopelessness and despair. I feel like the whole world is more important than any one thing that I could pray about. But it also gives me reassurance. Even though Jesus doesn't answer my prayers, I know that he is there. So this is my essay on the interpretation of a Dickinson poem. I wrote it for my American literature class on March 3, 1997. If you would like for me to share more essays or anything I wrote in the past, won't you give me a thumbs up and a comment below? Thanks for watching. Sol Sol.